Welcome to Adjust Your Mirrors, the #1 empowerment podcast show on the planet. Are you in need of motivation? Are you ready to take your personal and professional life to the next level? Then you've come to the right place. Adjust Your Mirrors. This is the podcast that's devoted to helping you see more clearly by making small adjustments. And now, here's your host, Reginald C. Allen.
Hey, hey, hey. Oh, yes, we are back again. We are back. Yes, my friends, we are back. It's been a minute, but we're still here. I know you are probably wondering, where have you been, man? Don't worry, I'm working on some things, but I'm back. I've missed you guys. I think it's been a month. So let me ask you this. While we took a little break, were you, my friends, adjusting your mirrors? Were you adjusting your mirrors? You had a few weeks, man, to get in there and really self-reflect, because today's episode, I'm going to ask you this one particular question, and it all sums up everything regarding adjusting your mirror. So here's a question that I have to ask you. Are you going to be the person that God created you to be? And as my friend William Shakespeare would say, to be or not to be? That is the question. What are you going to be, my friends? You know what? Hold on. And let me slow down. I'm just all excited because I haven't been speaking with you guys in a couple of weeks, but let me slow down, okay? To be or not to be, that is the question. Let me explain something about adjust your mirrors. First of all, I was talking to a friend a couple of weeks ago, and he said, man, I like the premise behind adjust your mirrors, but I'm kind of confused because aren't we supposed to be moving forward? And when you're adjusting your mirrors, you're constantly looking back. And I said, my friend, you're misinformed. Listen, mirrors reflect. So when you have the opportunity to adjust your mirrors, you're looking in the mirror, you're analyzing your life. You're looking at the proper adjustments that you need to make in order for you to move forward. Mirrors is all about self-reflection. And listen, I once heard a quote that said, observing yourself is the necessary starting point for any real change. So we can sit up here and we can come up with all these principles and all these great guidelines on things that you need to do in order for you to be successful. But the #1 principle, the starting point, must be reflection, observation, being honest with yourself. That's what adjusting your mirrors is all about. Taking the time to reflect on your life. So I'm going to ask you today, are you going to be the person that God created you to be? So again, to be or not to be? That, my friends, is the question. What are you going to be? Are you going to be the person who has all these talents, who has all these gifts, all these great ideas, but because of fear, because of the lack of resources, you refuse to move forward? Are you going to be who you're supposed to be, or are you going to be who people have defined you to be? There's so many labels that people will try to put on you. You cannot allow those labels to stick. That's why you have to ask yourself, am I going to be who God created me to be? Or am I going to allow people to define who I am? If you, my friend, continue to think the wrong way about yourself, then your destiny will continue to be in jeopardy. You have an assignment. And I hope that I'm helping someone out, because I'm going to give you 2 points, right? 2 principles. I usually don't have a bunch of principles. We're just talking, okay? But I want to help you out, so I'm going to give you 2 principles, okay? In order for you to be or not to be, this is the first thing that you have to do, okay? Number 1, write it down. Hope you're not coming to the classroom without an ink pen or a pencil. Come on, man. You're supposed to be taking notes. Number 1, in order for you to be or not to be, but we want to be, okay? That's what we're focusing on right now. We want to be. So the number 1 thing that you have to do, you have to discover who you are. Let me say that again. You have a responsibility of discovering who you are. Now, there's so many personality tests that you can take. There's strength finders tests. Now listen, let's just be honest. These self-evaluation tools, they're not perfect. However, they will help you pinpoint your top areas of strength so that you can focus on your talent. Because again, you have the responsibility of discovering who you are. Who are you? Who are you? I remember when I was taking my undergrad and the teacher said, Reggie, who are you? What do you mean? I do this, I do that. No. I don't need to know your skills. I don't need to know your titles. I need to know, who are you? And I said, I don't know. I need to find out. So I'm asking you today, who are you? Take the time. And if you don't know, that's okay. Because you have the time to figure out and to discover. Life is all about discovery, man. You're going to find out, and you're going to take these personality tests. You're going to take these strength finders tests. You're going to talk to some friends. You're going to talk to some mentors, and you're going to discover who you are, because so many people, you know what they do? They shortchange themselves by becoming someone else. God didn't create you to be a carbon copy, man. He created you to be who you are. So take the time to discover who you are. Okay. Number 2, and we're about to get out of here. Number 2, learn to be by yourself. Oh, just me, myself, and I. It's just me, myself, and I. If you're going to be who God created you to be, man, listen, there's going to be a season in your life where you have to learn how to be by yourself. Be still, my friend. Why? So you can evaluate yourself and be completely truthful with every facet of life, whether it's good or bad. Here again, we go back to adjusting your mirrors, reflecting, taking the time to analyze, be quiet, and discover your true self. Break away from the crowd. I know it's hard. It's crazy because whenever we think about peer pressure, okay, we always consider peer pressure. We attribute peer pressure to teenagers. And it's funny because a lot of people will inbox me and they'll say, oh man, I love that message that you had about peer pressure. Man, I'm going to give that message to the teenagers. I'm going to let my cousin listen to that. I'm going to let my nephew listen to that. And I always think, no, sir, that's for you. Because here you are going to a job, being influenced by your peers. Yeah, you know what you're doing, man. You're at the job and you come in on a Monday morning. You've listened to all your motivational tapes. You've read all your motivational books, and you're going in there and you say to yourself, I'm going to have a great attitude. And once you get in there, someone comes up to your desk and they say, you know what? Meet me by the water cooler, man. And then you get to the water cooler. You've been at work for 15 minutes, and the next thing you know, what? Let me tell you what Susie May did. Susie May did this. And 30 minutes later, well, not maybe 30 minutes, but 2 minutes later, you're going back and forth in a negative conversation, having those negative water cooler conversations. Instead of saying, listen, no, I'm not going to talk about Susie May. I'm not going to be negative today because I want to be all that God created me to be. Because you have a lot to live for. You have a lot to offer the world, and you can never be who God created you to be if you continue to allow the peers around you to suck all the positive energy away from you. So you got to stand tall, stand strong, and fight the negativity. Okay? Now, listen. When you realize who you are, you will spend less time spinning your wheels. You know, you ever meet a person who really don't know who they are? They're involved in that scheme. They're doing this and they're doing that. You know why they're involved in all these different things? Because they really don't know who they are. They just want to be involved in everything. And God has not created you to be involved in everything. If you're following me on Facebook, let me give a shout out to the Adjust Your Mirrors private Facebook group page. Let me tell you, I posted something on Facebook the other day and I said this: I'm a jack of all trades, a master of none. And I get it. I understand that. You want to be a person who has a little bit of knowledge of everything. But you know what? At some point, we must transition from a jack of all trades into a master. At some point, we need to learn how to become a master at something. Take the time to discover who you are, because when you know yourself, you will find peace and you will find success much quicker. So many people are going through life trying to figure out which way to go. Do I go here? Do I go there? I don't know. Maybe this, maybe I can do this. I can do that. And every new trend that's coming out, they jump on top of it. Discover who you are. Learn to be by yourself so that you can be who you were created to be. So listen, I'm glad I'm back. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Anyway, until next time, be empowered.
Thank you for listening to the Adjust Your Mirrors podcast with Reginald C. Allen. Be sure to visit the Adjust Your Mirrors private Facebook group, and don't forget to follow Reginald on Twitter at Reginald C. Allen. Please remember, when you're listening on iTunes, leave us a 5-star rating review. Until next time, be empowered.